Hello, friends. Welcome back to another week of BibleBox. This week, we're going to be hearing a story about a man named Noah and how he trusted and believed in God, even when no one else did. For today's story, we're going to be reading out of the Growing in God's Love Story Bible. If you'd like to get your own copy of the Bible, just click on the hyperlink in the description box below. Let's get started. When the world started over again, based on Genesis chapters 6 through 9. Almost everyone on earth has a story about a time when the world almost ended. Most of these stories are about a huge flood, the hugest flood ever. The people who tell these stories put all their little fears into a story about one great big fear: the end of the world. Here's the Bible story about how the world almost ended and how it began again after a huge and terrible flood. It rained for days and days. The water rose and rose until it covered everything. Everything living died. Almost. Just one person, Noah, built a boat so big that there was room for his whole family. Actually, Noah built his boat even bigger than that. He built it so big, he could bring a family of every animal along too. Dogs and cats, elephants and ants, lions and tigers. Noah even brought spiders and snakes on board. And everyone got along just fine. They were all safe for now. The big boat floated on the big flood. It seemed like forever for all the families on the boat. Then one day the sun came out, the clouds disappeared, and the rain stopped. Noah's huge boat came to rest on dry land. Noah opened the windows. When he saw that everything was safe, he opened the door. Everyone went bounding out into the new world, running and jumping and scampering in all directions. They found new homes and started new families. They made new lives for themselves. Then God told them all, "Don't be afraid that the world will end. Don't worry that this will ever happen again. I'm going to make a promise to all of you, to the whole world and to everyone who lives in it. I will keep you safe." When God made this promise, God was talking to the whole world. God was talking to the elephants and the ants. God was talking to spiders and to snakes. God was talking to pet dogs and pet cats and pet hamsters. God was talking to everyone in Noah's whole family. God was talking to your whole family. God was talking to you. God said, "Just to remind you of my promise to keep you safe, I'll make the rainbow. When it rains, don't be afraid. Just look for the rainbow." What are the sounds that you hear when it rains? What colors do you see in the rainbow? How can you help God make sure that everyone God promised to protect is safe? Our craft today is going to be a little bit more about Noah, so let's head on over to the craft table. Now that we're at the craft table, but before we get started, remember, put on some protective clothing and make sure your work surface is also protected. Today's craft is gonna get a little messy, so it's really important that you either put on an apron or a smock or wear clothes that you don't care if they get a little dirty. Now we're ready to craft. Here's the craft for November 1st. Inside your envelope, you will find a bag with markers, a sticker, half of a paper plate cut to look like a boat, a folded paper plate with a black line, and a save for later card. Whenever you see a save for later card, make note to save this material for this date. We'll use it in another craft later. To get started, let's take our folded piece and flatten it back out. Now I'm going to take my markers and I'm going to go ahead and take them all out so I can see what all of the colors are. That's a lot of colors. We're going to start out with the shape of our arc. For this arc, I'm going to draw the planks of wood first, using my black marker. But of course, you can make your arc look however you want, and use any one of these colors that you would like. I think I'll make a little door up at the top. Maybe some planks of wood. Oh, that looks good. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact or perfect. This is art. It's your vision. There we go. That's starting to look like a boat now. I think I'll do a roof as well. Maybe a couple little windows. There we go. Now I'm going to switch to brown and do most of the ark's body in brown. We know from the Bible that the ark was made with planks of wood, so brown's an appropriate color. But again, it's your piece of art. Any one of these colors, you can make your ark look however you'd like. I'm using single strokes and going across using the broad side of the marker, which is this fat side, and then using strokes using the tip. This gives me a variegated look, very similar to what real wood looks like. Point marks for the lines in the wood. And then using the side there we go. This section will have some knots in the wood. If you're having trouble on one part, especially the ribbed part on the outside, feel free to turn it around so you can get a better grip. I think I'll make the roof of my ark red. Maybe they had terracotta roof tiles. There's my finished ark. How does your ark look? Let's set the ark aside and move on to our second plate. For this plate, half of the sky is going to look stormy, and the other half of the sky is going to look sunny, and we'll put a rainbow in. Let's start with the stormy sky first. I'm gonna make my sky gray. Very dark and stormy. Since there's a lot of rain in these clouds, I would like to make these clouds black. Remember, when you see dark clouds in the sky, that means the clouds are full of water, ready to rain down on the earth. You can make as many or as few clouds as you like. What this picture's missing now is the rain. Let's use some blue and make some raindrops. The wind is going to be blowing so hard that the rain's going slanted. Have you ever been outside in the rain where it was blowing so hard that it looked like it was going sideways? Now that's some stormy weather. Let's flip this picture around and do the opposite. A nice sunny day. I'm going to start with some sunshine. We'll make some big sun rays. Very cheerful. I'm going to make a beautiful teal blue sky. Now remember, there's no white marker. So in order for me to make white clouds, I'll have to leave some spaces blank. I'll outline my clouds first. But I won't draw on the inside of them. Instead, I'll draw on the outside. Ooh, before I draw on the outside though, there's one special thing that's missing according to the story. Do you know what it is? What did God put in the sky to remind us that He would never again destroy the world with a flood? You're right, a rainbow. Let's put the rainbow in now before we color in the rest of the sky. We'll start our rainbow off with some red. My rainbow is going to go between two different clouds. Do you know what the next color in the rainbow is? That's right, orange. How about the next color? Yellow. How about next? That's right, green. Oh, our rainbow is really looking great. And last but not least, that's right, blue. Now since my sky is going to be this color, I'm going to use this bluish purple as the blue in my rainbow. Ah, that'll contrast very nicely with this color of the sky. I think we're ready for our sky now. What do you think? beautiful blue sky with a rainbow. To give my clouds some more dimension, I'm actually going to use this peach color. Now they're nice and fluffy. Last thing I think I'm going to do is to add my little sticker. Now you can use the sticker as one piece or you can cut it in half. I'd like my sticker to show Noah and his wife on the top of my boat. Fantastic. Last thing we need to do is put it together. In your bag, you should also find this little tiny plastic bag. It's got 2 brads in it. One of them's an extra. We're going to use this first one. If you look very closely, there's a little tiny hole right in the center here. There's also a little tiny hole in the center here. We're going to match up these 2 holes. Place your brad through the first hole so that it sticks out the other side. Take your second piece and gently thread the brad through. Flip it over onto the back side and place it down on the table so it doesn't flow out. Now, gently bend the longer of the 2 metal pieces down first and then the shorter one. So it looks like that. Great job! Now you've got your ark ready to go. You can tell the story. Noah's ark had to float on the water for 40 days and 40 nights, and it just kept raining until the whole world was flooded. At the end of that time, Noah sent out a dove to see if there was dry land, but there wasn't any. Noah waited a few more days and sent out the dove again. The dove came back with an olive branch. That meant that there was land somewhere that was growing plants. When Noah sent out the dove for the last time, he saw that the dove did not return, which meant it was safe to open the ark. The water had stopped falling, the sun was out, and God said to Noah, "I promise never to destroy the earth again with a great giant flood. And to show my promise, I'll put a rainbow in the sky that you can see every time it rains." I hope you enjoyed this craft. Now that we've finished with our craft, let's head on over to our friends at the Crossroads Kids Club and sing a song about how much Noah loved God.
There was a time, back in time, when nobody was doing right. They were lost, telling lies. Oh, it was an awful sight. You could say no one knew God, no one loved God, no one was God's friend. You could say no one knew God, no one loved God, no one was God's friend. But there was a man, such a man, the only one in the land, who had the guts to take a stand and follow a different plan. You could say no one knew God, no one loved God, no one was God's friend. You could say no jump and crawl and fly and bend. It's gonna rain for 40 days. It's gonna rain for 40 nights. The earth is gonna have a brand new start. Just you wait and see. It's gonna start again with you because of your love for me. All because no one knew God, no one loved God, no one was God's friend. No one knew God, no one loved God, no one was God's friend. Yada-da, yada-da, da-da, da-da, yada-da, da-da, yada-da.
Thank you, friends, for spending time with us today for BibleBox. I hope you enjoyed the craft and the music video, as well as the story about Noah. Let's say a prayer in closing. Dear Heavenly Father, please help us to love you just as much as Noah did, to have faith that when things get stormy in our lives, you will be able to bring us out safely on the other side, and that there will always be a rainbow waiting for us. Amen. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you back here for another episode of BibleBox on Sunday. Bye!